Alors effectivement, CIUDAD, la dernière lettre D, c'est le dialogue. Et lorsqu'on parle de dialogue, c'est le point fort de ce projet.
We are a family, I can say. These partners, these people that I meet only thanks to CIUDAD meetings, events in different countries.
Here we are part today of network and we want to continue to work in this network because it's give us a lot of benefits and we can learn about a lot of tools and strategies that we can use in our municipalities.
And this kind of conferences are very, very important for exchange of best practices. We heard very good examples and we had great ideas from the projects which are already finished. And I think that we can implement those ideas.
Enabling municipalities working in the CIUDAD program to exchange experiences and best practices is one of the main objectives of the CIUDAD supporting mechanism. The program's second interregional conference, which took place in Tunis from 20th to 22nd of November 2012, was an event that brought together local authorities and other project partners from 20 countries, from Europe and its southern and eastern neighbours. 4,500 kilometres separate the city of Saleh, Morocco, in the west, from Yerevan, Armenia, in the east. The CIUDAD programme and events like this one try to bridge that gap and to connect both with local governments in the European Union. The event was organised together with another European Union initiative, the Structured Dialogue, which aims to give EU neighbourhood countries a bigger role in shaping the development policies that affect them. The CIUDAD and Structured Dialogue events were opened by Mr. Saif Ala Lasram, Mayor of the city of Tunis, together with Mr. Lorenzo Kluser, head of the political section of the delegation of the European Union to Tunisia, and Commission representatives Mr. Angelo Baglio and Mrs. Caroline Maillon, who manage the Structured Dialogue and CIUDAD programs. Local authorities in CIUDAD projects active in southern and eastern Mediterranean countries participated in some of the sessions of the Structured Dialogue seminar. But the main focus of the CIUDAD event was on the CIUDAD projects that have now completed their activities. In sessions facilitated by Frank Samol, team leader of the CIUDAD supporting mechanism, 7 of the 21 projects in CIUDAD presented their results and the impact they've made in their local communities. First up was Bakar Awadi, director of the Galilee Society, an Arab-Israeli NGO that coordinated many of the activities in Green Cities. Green Cities is a project to improve solid waste management through composting and recycling in Arab villages in northern Israel and in the West Bank. Mr. Awadi noted that composting alone could cut local authority landfill costs by up to 45%. But the project's work with schools and the community have benefits that go beyond the financial. An old dump site was transformed into a community garden. Local schools have joined the Green Schools network, qualifying for additional state support. And students have sometimes been a little too enthusiastic about composting in their schools.
When we began making composting in schools, students come put all the foods in the composting, want to see the results.
Green Cities is also keen to make sure that their impact is long-lasting.
The third year to have yearly week for environment, which all the parents and schools and teachers prepare together in order to maintain all the results we have get, and also to think about how we become more green and sustainable in our schools.
Solid waste is an issue particularly in the EMPI South region, that is southern and eastern Mediterranean countries. Water is another big priority in the region, and this was the theme tackled by the Tormedo project, which involved local authorities in Morocco, Tunisia, and the Italian island of Sardinia, and was presented by Mr. Soher Trabelsi, Deputy Mayor of Ajim Djerba in Tunisia. Interviewed after the presentation, Mr. Trabelsi explained that the pilot wastewater treatment facility realized by the project could lead to employment opportunities for young people.
Nous espérons que ce projet ait de l'avance sur le besoin en eau pour l'irrigation, pour certains projets dans l'avenir qui vont créer certaines petites ou moyennes entreprises qui vont aider les jeunes à s'implanter directement dans le contexte de l'emploi.
As Frank Samuel noted, small can be beautiful, also for local authorities.
And I think it's a good example how even a small European local authority, municipality can transfer and convey its particular know-how. So the municipality of Villasimius in Sardinia has really made a strong effort and provided quite a lot of support in promoting this concept of tertiary wastewater treatment, and hopefully it will be taken on by the Tunisian and Moroccan authorities after the end of the project.
The theme of energy efficiency has largely been limited to the east, with one notable exception, the Shore project, led by the German city of Friedrichshafen, with assistance from the Spanish city of Murcia. Shore is active in both the south, in the Moroccan city of Saleh, and in the east, in the city of Polotsk in Belarus. Saleh is the first city in the southern Mediterranean and in the Arab world to sign the Covenant of Mayors, an initiative aiming to cut CO2 emissions, reduce consumption, and increase the use of renewables. The mayor of Saleh explained the profound implications of the project for his city.
Ce qui est important dans le programme CIUDAD, ça nous a permis une prise de conscience de l'intérêt de l'économie d'énergie. Et bien sûr, quand on parle d'économie d'énergie, on parle de réduction d'émissions de gaz CO2. Et Saleh a commencé plusieurs projets, entre autres, c'est l'installation de l'éclairage public en LED.
Another project that presented its results was SUD, Sustainable Urban Development, led by the Ukrainian city of Ukrainka, whose mayor, Pavel Kozyrev, presented. It involved towns in Belarus and Georgia as well as Ukraine. The audience was interested to hear how the local authorities managed to involve civil society organizations in developing the strategic development plans that were one of the main project outputs. Economic development is of course a key element in these plans, and a priority also for the Sustur project, which focuses on promoting cultural tourism in the Georgian city of Kutaisi and in Ungeni in Moldova, using the experiences of towns and cities in the province of Venice, Italy. Mr. Tengiz Tukuridze, head of administration in the city of Kutaisi, presented some of the materials that have been produced by the project.
Вот это та стратегия, я о чем вам говорил, на английском языке, которая была подготовлена международными экспертами с активным вмешательством национальных экспертов. Мы издали на английском языке, и у нас также есть грузинский вариант тоже.
Another tourism project was the innovative RKM, Roma Kiev Moscow, which not only organized guided tours and a rich multimedia database on the little-known subject of Russian avant-garde architecture of the 1920s and 30s, but also developed iPhone and iPad applications. The project's results were presented by Mr. Claudio Bordi from the city of Rome, who noted how RKM built on years of research and documentation carried out by the universities of Rome and Moscow.
With the support of CIUDAD program, we could really involve the local authorities of Moscow and Kiev. It was a real challenge because 5 years ago this heritage was absolutely unknown and completely forgotten by Moscow and Kiev.
Other CIUDAD projects that are still ongoing had a chance to offer their experiences to date. Frank Samuel was interested in gathering their opinions, particularly on the thorny issue of project partnerships.
So Barbara, from the Godem project, this is actually the project with the largest number of partners. I think they have 15. And it was managed quite well, I think, and successfully. And,
Okay. What I want to say is, from the beginning, we had the objective of creating a network. That was, from the beginning, one of the objectives of the Godem project. So what we did in Godem is we put into place some pilot projects in different cities who are participating, which was already an opportunity to give a real content to the networks.
Il faut, dès le départ, élaborer une convention pour choisir les partenaires et chaque partenaire doit savoir ce qu'il doit faire dès le début.
Okay, merci beaucoup. I think the sure experience both in Salé and in Polotsk is quite positive, and also a good example how these projects work. Because, well, this was a project with not so many partners, but very strong role of the local authority.
So, Frank, you want some difficult examples or some strange situation. I can say something about our project. 2 or 3 years ago, when we started to apply, we found our partner in Turkey. Then we found a partner in Sevastopol. We never met them. We never had a project in common. And of course, then we had different surprises. So don't understand in the wrong way. We are very good friends with them, but we, let's say, speak different languages. We are like from different two planets.
Au départ, on s'y fixait des objectifs et à la fin, on a trouvé que nous n'avons pas toujours la même vision des choses. Chacun attend quelque chose de l'autre.
C'est jamais facile de travailler avec des partenaires italiens, allemands, hongrois. Il y a des difficultés, il y a des différences au niveau de l'administration, etc. On y passe du temps. Mais c'est encore plus difficile quand on n'est pas habitué de travailler avec des partenaires algériens, égyptiens ou marocains.
Rémi Pain, from the local authority of Marne-la-Vallée, France. Despite a few partnership issues, their new Medidem project seems to be going very well. They received some very positive scores in the results-oriented monitoring exercise performed earlier in 2012. Caroline Maillon, EC Project Manager for CIUDAD, presented the results of this monitoring.
Now the outcome. Actually, the whole assessment has been based on various criteria, such as the relevance, the design of the project, the participation, the sustainability, and so on. So therefore, the consultants have used this methodology to really assess in an objective way what the project have reached so far. And actually the relevance, the actual relevance of the project, let's say in the whole context, has scored quite high, as you can see on the graphs.
A number of recommendations emerged from the monitoring, some to provide guidance for local authorities that want to participate in future programs, and others to assist the Commission in designing their future initiatives. On day 2 of the CIUDAD event, when many local authorities from Mediterranean countries joined the Structured Dialogue seminar, Caroline Maillon's colleague and counterpart for the Eastern region, Mr. Rob de Lobe, gave an overview on EU neighbourhood policy on the role of local and regional authorities. Speakers came from different EU-funded programmes and local authority initiatives in the ENPI East region. The objective, once again, was to encourage networking and synergies between them and CIUDAD project partners. Themes covered ranged from improving local governance, advocacy and lobbying the European Commission to promote the interests of local authorities, cross-border cooperation to improve technical and managerial capacity in local authorities, cross-cutting themes of interest to all local authorities involved in the CIUDAD programme, to specific themes that some CIUDAD projects have developed as their main activity, such as solid waste management, which is the focus of 3 projects, mostly in the south, and cultural heritage, which evidently arouses great enthusiasm, passion, and at times, vigorous debate.
Culture, really, when you talk culture to a city manager, they have like pain, you know. I mean, they look at you like if you come from Mars. They say, what the hell are you talking about? I have the municipality that's plenty of garbage. I have electricity problem, communication, transportation, you know, mobility.
It was almost a complete lecture on the complexity of the cultural heritage issue, and I think we should stop here.
But cultural heritage is also something that unites North and South, East and West, and the breathtaking beauty of the magnificent sites of Carthage and the picturesque village of Sidi Bou Said certainly did this, bringing to an end the second interregional event of the CIUDAD programme, one that strengthened the bonds of what has become the CIUDAD family.